Simple Kiwi cafe food was the original thing that I wrote down, but focusing on good quality ingredients. We have so much great produce in New Zealand. It's the good ingredients that are going to take like a classic boring dish to the next level for people. Growing up in Wellington, I saw myself as a musician who did hospitality to like pay the bills. I can't really put my finger on when it happened, but started to realize that I was really like passionate about hospitality and maybe I should consider taking that side a bit more seriously. It's a people business more than it is a product. You just slowly over time build these crazy relationships with these regulars that like you never really have hung out for like a long time, but you know them, you know what they got up to on the weekend or whatever. I had been thinking about having a cafe for a long time and what it would look like, what I would focus on, and then Kelburn just ended up being that place. The first thing that I look for when I'm getting new ingredients is like, where does it come from? There's just so many advantages to like sourcing local. For me, it's the obvious choice. If you're not pumped about what you're putting in the food, it's gonna be hard to be excited about what you're making, you know? Like in the supermarket, look in the back of everything, like where these tomatoes come from, like why all these tomatoes come from far away? We grow so many tomatoes here. I wonder where these come from, I wonder where these are. Once you start getting into thinking about where your food comes from, it's surprising how far some of it travels and things that you would never expect just coming from the other side of the world. It's not just like a factory that made it, like there's a person who like picked the corn or whatever, you know, like it's crazy. We're just like, oh yeah, guess how corn comes, it's like in a pack. It's like, why does it come from China? Like, what? Our world does kind of hide that a lot of the time behind like convenience and price and things like that. Obviously, where we get our food from is really important to me, but like, is it important to the customers? And therefore, like, do they want to pay for it? It does, in hindsight, take a bit of confidence in your understanding of what a certain percentage of the population is looking for. At the end of the day, like what you're kind of doing, you're like, I know what you guys want. You want this food and you want this coffee and you want this music and like this is the atmosphere that you want to hang in. But until you do that, what's the proof that you actually do know, you know? The way ingredients come in, sometimes thinking big picture, it can get a little overwhelming if everything is working in a way that you don't agree with, and it can feel like what you're doing is just a small part of that. But if I just focused on that, I'd just give up. You know what I mean? I'd just be like overwhelmed by like trying to change the world and just be like, well, there's no point. But if I focus on what we do and make every decision consciously rather than absent-mindedly, that has an effect on the people around me, and those little ripples will go outwards and have an impact on the world, and hopefully over time have a bigger effect than just what we're doing here. There aren't that many third spaces these days, and there aren't many places where you'll interact with strangers. We're all kind of isolated out in these little bubbles of convenience. Here we are. You're very welcome. Cheers. Thanks, guys. We don't get that many chances to bump into the people who we live around and who have different opinions to us, but are our neighbours at the end of the day. And having a cafe was my chance to like make one of those spaces and provide, I guess, a community service in a way to like, yeah, the neighbourhood. Yeah.